So Sav trying out her 48-inch golf shaft for her long drive competition. We got it over. Come on, there we go. Personal best today, 317 yards, 287 carry, 107 club speed. Well done, Sav. Okay, things are getting a little nuts around here. This is Mu's driver, and this is Savannah's driver, and mine's the little bitty one in between. So these two characters are on their way to Mesquite, Nevada next week for the long drive competition. So when you watch this video, they'll already be on the way down. Yeah. And the competition will be just a couple of days after, and we'll have a great report for you the week after. Now, Sav just received her driver yesterday. We just got back from Mexico where she absolutely killed it in the Pro-Am. I mean, you carried the team. They actually had her starting from the red tees, and she was still getting it out there at sea level at 290 yards. So that was a lot of fun to watch, and she really impressed Bill Haas, who was one of our pros, and Austin Cook, who was there for the front nine. So just a fabulous time. And now Sav is just enjoying. I mean, what was your top distance so far?
Top distance so far with this guy was yesterday at 317.
317.
Yeah, and then today I got 111 clubhead speed and 157 ball speed.
111 club speed. That's starting to get interesting.
This is the first time I've swung a 48-inch shaft.
That's my speed, between 111 and 115. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's a good thing that you can't use that shaft when we're playing golf together. So let's have Sav, get a crack at this, and then we'll watch Mu. Mu has recently gotten to the 150 club. Yeah, been pretty miles per hour club speed. So it'll be really cool to watch Mu hit a couple of shots in his preparation, and the stuff that he's been doing in the gym. We'll talk about that when we get him out there. So Sav, the floor is yours. What a difference, huh?
Yeah, that was better.
Look at that, baby. Okay. So here's the deal. We're up over 106, but the extra mass you got on that, the efficiency's not bad, 1.43. The launch angle's awesome. 283 carry, 311 total. And then the backspin was absurdly low. That's exactly what we want out there, yeah. Good ball there, Sav.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, you see how the shaft wasn't kicking at the right place?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I wanted to show people, here's a really neat trick if you have a Callaway driver. And Callaway is the only one that can do this. So you have 3 rings in the bottom here, and one of the rings you can actually turn a quarter turn at a time. When it was lined up, you were slicing and hooking, and then we just turned it a quarter turn, and the shaft ends up kicking differently because of the spine in the shaft, and now all of a sudden you've got this beautiful little draw. Okay, so here's Sav's Triple Diamond LS driver. It's 9 degrees. We typically have it at the neutral setting. So notice here are the adjustments. You have the first 2 that are for the club face and for loft adjustment. So you can have plus or minus 1 degree. You can actually go to 2 degrees. You can keep it neutral, or you can put it in the draw setting. But what's really cool is when you have this finalized, you can then turn the shaft afterwards
and adjust it to the setting that you want, because each shaft is wrapped in a certain way and manufactured in a certain way where it creates a spine. And depending on where that spine is located, it makes the shaft kick differently. So in Sav's setting, we've noticed that if we turned it 1/4 turn and have the that marking at the 9 o'clock position, and the logo of her shaft would be at a 9 o'clock position, that's where the shaft was kicking at its best. And that's where, you know, there's, in the industry, there's a system called puring. And basically what that does is it puts the spine on your shaft in the same place. Whether that's the right place for you is another question, though. And that's the only question that I have in that. At least with the Callaway driver, you can turn it 1/4 turn until you get satisfaction. And it was amazing how if we had put it on the setting from the factory, where that was at a 6 o'clock position with the logo of the shaft underneath, it really wasn't kicking well for her at all. So, and obviously at 48 inches, it's going to, exaggerate that kick. So, hope you enjoyed that. Back to the program.
Look at that. That's 3 in a row. It's uncanny, the difference, right?
Yeah.
And look at how deep that is. So now all of a sudden you're on the grid over 300 yards and, back to, 106 club speed consistently. And weren't you like a minute ago questioning your ability?
Yeah.
Look at that, right? So that's like 3 drives in a row over 300 yards
Yeah.
with a nice draw right down the grid.
Yeah.
And this is a really important video on why strain and effort is your absolute enemy in any circumstance, especially in long drive.
Yeah.
So you're going to realize that the proper work in the gym and the proper work with rhythm and timing are what's going to win the day.
That's right.
All right, so let's have Mu hit a few shots here, and let's talk a little bit about his preparation for next week. And so you really don't want to miss this show. This is going to be awesome. So these are your tools, right, Mu?
Yeah, so these have been my tools I've been using to kind of prime my CNS to feel that explosiveness, the timing, and also getting like the difference between weight too helps be able to get
Yeah, you're going from absolute feather to pretty substantial weight there with the orange strainer.
Yeah.
So which one do you start with?
I start with the orange whip first.
Okay.
And I like to swing both sides, lefty and righty.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll...
do you want to do it facing the camera?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
So I like to do 6 aside.
Okay. Yeah, at the Mexico Open last week, Sav and I noticed a lot of the players were warming up with the orange whips.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that you're doing it from both sides,
Yes.
that's really important, right?
Yeah.
Because while one side is firing and turning, the other side's got to get the heck out of the way.
Right.
So that kinetic chain is being activated through both sides.
Yeah, I like that balance. And then I go lefty. This helps with arm speed.
And you look at that, the squat that Mu is using to perform that. You'll see that in our premium channels called turbocharging lead hand release
Yeah.
and turbocharging trail hand release. And you notice we did that like 2 years ago
Yeah, with a club.
with a golf club.
Yeah.
And that's what got you 3 clubs longer than me, right?
Yeah.
And so you kind of kept that because, and that's been a real secret to your success.
Yeah, it is.
Insofar as engaging that kinetic chain.
Yeah.
Now do you do it with?
Now that I'm done,
Okay.
I just do it, I just jump into the driver, which is something that's in between the weights of I was using.
Okay, so you're basically Goldilocks-ing your weight.
Yeah, and then getting the body ready to throw to the target. All right.
All right,
Low on the face, a little spinny, but
little spinny, but
it's a good start.
that's a really good start there, Mu. I mean, so in your first competition in Florida,
Yeah.
so that's 142. So you jumped up to 2 miles per hour in clubhead speed.
Yeah,
Ball speed off center was 200 miles an hour.
correct. So
That's incredible.
That's a good start, yeah.
So you were carrying 375 because there was no roll on that grid. It was a polo field.
That's it, yeah.
But now that you're going to Mesquite,
Yeah.
and it's actually an artificial turf field,
That's right.
so you guys should be getting quite a bit more roll over
Yeah,
there.
you're going to see a lot more 400-yard drives out there, which is going to be fun.
So you got to sharpen that pencil.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
It's a little too close to the ball on that one,
Wow.
but I got away with that one.
Yeah, you got away with it.
Yeah.
Oh, it is so much fun watching you develop.
Thank
Just amazing. Let's do a couple more.
Okay. That's a good one there.
Wow. Moonshot.
A lot of backspin on that one,
Yeah.
but it felt good. It was a nice throw to the target. I'll live with that.
Now, one of the disadvantages you have compared to the other guys, there were 144, now 206 ball speed,
Right.
207 ball speed.
207, yeah.
And so the loft on that club is the lowest loft we can get for you is like 8 degrees.
It's 9 degrees right now. I have it set at -2, so it's 7 degrees right now.
7 degrees right now. So
Yeah.
that's the lowest we can get on this on these drivers, because the availability for lefties once again is a little bit less.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that how you've developed, and really, I mean, this guy is so keen. 3.5 years in playing golf, and he's you're a student of the game. You're a pure student of the game, man.
Thanks, Shawn. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the training you do in the gym, because that's what we talked about, right?
Yeah.
You're doing a lot more explosive training, like plyometrics and Olympic lifting.
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of heavy lifting, like powerlifting, hang snatches, as well as sled work.
Sled work, okay.
Yeah,
That
so-
sounds like you're going back to some of the football days.
Yeah, just to get the athletic balance, like just getting explosive, like stop-start systems, like for fast twitch muscle activation.
Okay. Just to get the engine primed.
Yeah, doing box jumps as well too has been primo. Like doing rotational jumps, because it's part of the swing as well.
So
too.
there's an explosiveness in a rotational sense that you're using.
Yeah, cable work too that are explosive as well too.
That's one of my favorite stuff to do
Yeah.
in the gym for pure. I mean, it's when you're dealing with a cable machine, when you're on your on your feet.
Correct.
You're now employing the full kinetic chain.
That's right.
And
yeah.
that's the name of the game, right? So
Yeah.
when people say, okay, what body part do I use to get more speed?
Right.
And
it's everything.
it's none of the above,
Yeah.
and it's all of the above.
all of the above, exactly.
Right?
Agreed. Yeah, I could agree more.
So when you're training in golf, even if you're not training for long drive competitions like Mu, and now with Sav is going to do a little bit more of that, so she can up her game as far as distance on throughout her set, which would get her more spin on the irons, more carry.
Correct. Yeah.
Softer landing. So for her competitions, it's going to be great.
That's right.
But to do these competitions for long drive is going to be a lot of fun for her too, because
Yeah.
it's swinging under stress, under competitive stress.
Yeah, it is fun.
And
It's
so,
addicting.
why not throw that in the mix?
For sure. Yeah.
I'm thinking that's going to be really healthy for her.
Yeah, I agree too.
So with that, we hope that you appreciated a little gleam of how this works, and looking forward to seeing you in our next session next week. All the best.